What is up, guys? Please tell me you can hear me. Please, please, please. Can you hear me, guys? What's up? Can you hear me? All right, you can hear me. All right, I love it. I love it. So what do you guys think of the trailer? Let's be honest. Can't wait for the movie. Yes. What else? I think I am so stoked. If you saw my reaction, I was just like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? I was so blown away. I mean, particularly by the ending, the so awesome. Let's just jump right in. Theories. How did Palpatine survive? Is he going like the cloning cylinders like he does in Legends? Did he clone himself? Did he somehow wrap himself in some force cocoon when he got dropped into the pit by Vader? What's the deal? So Hardy Brown says Palp is going to kill half the universe in 9. He's going to pull a Thanos, huh? The Obsidian Ring. He came back because he felt a sudden tinge of nostalgia to visit his beloved galaxy. I think you're right on the money there, Gold Taco. Sidious's voice might be coming from a holocron. Oh, Makita, he's playing devil's advocate here. He's you're crushing all our hopes and dreams if that's the case, Makita. That Palpatine's not really alive. So Caleb Jones says clones. Let's see here. So Christian Santiago says maybe time travel, like in Rebels. Quizás viaje en el tiempo, algo así como en Rebels. Cool. Hey, we can do Spanish too. Yeah, there we go. Chosen One Theory says, I think it's going to be a flashback. I mean, Palpatine being back is super cool to me, but the big thing, and this is something my wife pointed out to me, the most non-Star Wars fan ever. She texted me, and let me just, I don't have my phone, but she texted me and said, wait a minute, Palpatine can't be alive, because if Palpatine's alive, that means Anakin didn't bring balance to the Force. That's a pretty good observation. So that leads me to think that if Palpatine is alive, the Chosen One has got to make a reappearance. The Chosen One has got to come back. He's got to come back to defeat the Sith once and for all. And my boy Anakin, he's got to come back. What do you guys think? Let's see here. That Gold Talk says, Danny, I'm about to cry. Don't do this. I don't know what I'm doing that's going to make you cry. Dale Erdman says it's all about Anakin. He's back too. I'm sure of it. We need him, says Kaylani 2002. But it's true. Like, if Anakin was truly the Chosen One, is being the Chosen One only a temporary thing? Did he only temporarily bring balance to the Force for like 20 years, or is it a permanent thing? You know, is he meant to do it permanently? Joshua Long 69 says, "Hear my theory. Palpatine organized all of this. Maybe the Palpatine clones were a thing, and Snoke was one of the failed versions that either Palpatine possessed or is controlling." That's an interesting theory. That would certainly explain the deformities and everything like that. You know, now if Palpatine's really back, I think the idea of Snoke being his puppet is much bigger of a possibility. His spirit might be trapped in Death Star 2. Not a Force code, but a trapped dark-side spirit. What if Rey is a Kenobi, and then we can have Mustafar 2 versus Kylo Ren? So we're totally going to... That's another question. Do you guys think who's flying the TIE fighter? Is it Kylo? Or is it Poe? I think those are our two options. We know Poe's X-Wing got destroyed in The Last Jedi, so if he would need a ship, it would make sense, you know, theoretically, that he would maybe steal an Imperial ship. So it could be Poe helping him train. But I went back and I looked at the gloves that he is wearing. This is Kylo's gloves in Last Jedi, and those are Kylo's gloves in the trailer. From what I can tell, guys, what I can tell, they are indeed the same gloves. Yeah, I had to know. I had to know. So I think it's Kylo flying that, but that's and I thought it was Kylo. I just wanted to be sure. Why isn't Kylo firing on her? Are they playing chicken type of thing? I mean, is it, I mean, maybe the real question is it antagonistic or is it not? I mean, is he helping her train or is he trying to kill her? So, let's see here. Christian Santiago asks, all right, let's see here. Joshua says, also notice how Palpatine is back as soon as Luke, a Skywalker, dies. This shows me he may be scared of the Skywalkers. Well, I think that's a definite yes. I mean, Vader is the one who killed him. Anakin has to come back as a Force ghost. I would love an Obi Anakin Force ghost. I so totally want to see Hayden Christensen back in this trilogy to wrap up. I mean, George has always said that the entire series is about Anakin. So I hope he comes back. Let's see here. Rey went full Matrix backflip. Yeah, she did. It looks like Rey was about to slice through the TIE fighter. That would be awesome. That would be sweet. I thought they were going to show it. So my sources tell me that shot where she's going over the ship was finished on Monday. Finished on Monday. They finished that shot. These things go down to the wire. I mean, even Shards of the Past was finished mere hours before the premiere. There's a saying in film that I love. If it weren't for the last minute, films would never get done. Or films are never completed. They just escape. So it's kind of crazy that shot was finished on Monday. So Charlie says, dude, imagine Hayden and Ewan as a Force ghost together. It'd be sweet. That would be sweet. All right. Luke was definitely a threat to Sidious, says Dale. Totally. And I can't believe all this has never leaked. Oh, my goodness. The security on these films is ridiculous. Let's see here. I heard rumors that Rey is Luke and Leia's daughter. And I was like, ew, I hope that will never happen. Chosen One Theory, I hope you're right. I hope that will never happen. All right, Joshua Long 69 says, also, since you didn't see my last comment, notice how Snoke's finger, he is wearing a ring that Vader had at his castle. Yeah. So how would Snoke wear this was, though? It's got to be Palpatine. I think that's a really good point. I've always been really interested, especially in The Last Jedi, where Snoke talks about with Kylo, you were the next Vader, the Skywalker line. I'm like, why does Snoke have any obsession with Vader? Especially if he's supposedly from the unknown regions. Why? Especially since Vader turned from the dark side, especially since Vader ultimately failed the dark side. It's like, why would he care? So if you were to Snoke, or Sidious, it would make a lot of sense. But at the same time, why would Sidious want another Vader when Vader betrayed him? Unless Sidious, because he's a smart dude, can see, wow, I never saw it coming, the betrayal from Vader. So I want to get the next Vader and use him even more for my power or something like that. Maybe he recognized the power. Okay, let's see here. I'm a little behind on the comments. Let's see. Liam Neeson as a Force ghost. That'd be cool. Let's see here. The Senate has returned. Sidious, where? And also Amethyst Blade. He actually doesn't want another Vader. He just wants to control Kylo. Logan, I think that's the biggest thing. If Palpatine really is Snoke or somehow related to him, is Snoke is maybe his minion, his secret apprentice. I think there's no better revenge against, if you think about it, there's no better revenge against Anakin than by ensuring his descendants are dedicated to the dark side. I mean, think about that. If you were Sidious, what's the one way you could get back at Anakin? Well, you can't do anything to Anakin because he's dead. So the only thing you can do is destroy and curse his progeny forever. that would be a true Sidious thing to do, I think. Let's see here. So, let's see. Dale Erdman says, let's see here. Or Joshua Long 69 says, would be cool if Snoke was actually a Palpatine failed clone. Oh, yeah. So we mentioned that. Mace, aka Fulcrum, says, I'm wondering if Anakin is going to come back and fulfill the prophecy of the Chosen One again, so to speak, especially if Sidious is back. I think he has to. He has to. I mean, the rise of Skywalker's got to be like, maybe it's all the Skywalkers coming together to defeat the dark side once and for all. That would be sweet. You get Luke, you get Anakin. Let's throw some Shmi Skywalker in there. You get Kylo. All of them have to band together, and it turns out Rey maybe is a Skywalker by blood, or maybe she straight up marries Kylo. I don't know, and becomes a Skywalker by marriage. That if they band together to defeat the dark side, and that all the Skywalkers are the chosen one, maybe. Maybe it's the chosen lineage, not just the chosen one person. It's like Yoda said, misread the prophecy could have been. Maybe they misinterpreted it by assuming it was one person. Let's see here. Let's see. Logan King says maybe an Anakin Palpatine Force Ghost battle. That'd be intense. Clavis says he's up so late the birds are tweeting. Nice. Let's see here. How old is Ian now? Yeah, he's got to be in his 80s. And Josh makes the observation that we have seen the Sith possess other people before, like in the Old Republic. Very true. So just be making something Legends canon. All right, so Scottyverse. Hey, Scotty. Palpatine felt the call from the unknown regions. Snoke. I don't see Palp manipulating Snoke directly, but I believe Palp survived. They did get together in some capacity, and that Palp has, ... outmaneuvered him. Palpatine, there's no better strategist, tactician. Nobody's better. He's always 30 steps ahead of everybody. The only time he was ever caught unaware, at least we can assume, was when Palpatine killed, or Vader threw him off the ledge in Return of the Jedi. I'm under the assumption that he did not foresee that and that was not planned. What do you guys think? Let's see here. Maybe Logan King says, maybe it shows Palp's creating Rey and creating Anakin from the beginning. I personally think absolutely that's either Palpatine or Plagueis created Anakin. I think 100%. Whether they created Rey or not, that's a different story. Possibly. Christian Santiago says, do you think that literally now all Jedi live in her? That's interesting. I mean, when you think of the Last Jedi book, we learned that when Kylo and Rey were having their Force connections with each other, that is how Rey learned so much. It was almost like downloading it from Kylo. Now, I don't love that, to be totally honest, but maybe it's talking about something like that like all the Jedi are able to endue her with all their knowledge somehow. I kind of hope it's not like that. Because let's make it a little difficult for the girl, let's make it a little difficult for her to find her own path and to learn how to be a Jedi instead of just picking up a lightsaber and defeating Kylo Ren. I hope that she's got to train. She needs to go through her trial. She needs to have, she needs to be tempted by the dark side. I guess she kind of is in episode 8. Okay. Let's see here. Josh, let's see here. Let's talk Star Wars. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Not as optimistic about it. So I'm cautiously optimistic about 9. All right, so Lucky Dog Gaming says, showing up late. Do you think Snoke is Plagueis? And we'll see Snoke. Yeah, so we were talking about that a bit. Somebody floated the idea that Snoke is a failed clone of Sidious. U.S. Plagueis, though. I would love to know more about Plagueis. The dude's got to be legit. I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see here. Somebody asks, what would be the reason for scouting the Death Star debris, in your opinion? Says Matzi. I think they've got to know that. I think they're going there. Palpatine somehow is involved in them going there. Like they're going there to make sure he's dead, or it's a mission related to Palpatine. It certainly can't be just by chance. But I think they're going there for a reason, and this must be the planet Endor, which leads me to another question. I was talking to my coworker who was in the background of my trailer reaction. The forest moon. Is the forest moon in Return of the Jedi called Endor, or is it the forest moon of another planet called Endor? Big question. I know. Let's see here. Will you be doing any fan mail like Star Wars Theory does? I have only got one fan letter before, so probably not, unless you guys start sending me fan mail. Dude, Lando got a ship back. Yeah, he does. Will the Death Star ruins give off radiation? I don't know, Tommy. I mean, do kyber crystals give off radiation? I don't think they do. So AL2 Cool says, I saw a thing that said Sith cannot become Force ghosts in Star Wars universe, but they can somehow inhabit or haunt like an area. Hence, that would be why the Death Star is pictured in the trailer. Well, we know, according to canon, they can't really become Force ghosts per se. But like, for instance, we have Darth Momin, who somehow gets his essence or spirit or something in the mask that Darth Vader is using in the Darth Vader comics. In a deleted scene in Clone Wars, Yoda comes up against a spirit or something of Darth Bane, I think it was. And so there's definitely, especially with Darth Momin, there's definitely precedence for a Sith spirit to live on somehow. And that could very well be why Sidious hasn't gone anywhere. Maybe he can't. Maybe he isn't, inhabiting the Death Star that is full of this dark side energy. He almost certainly had holocrons and stuff there. So maybe that's why he just can't leave. And maybe he's, pulling a Sauron right now and trying to regain physical form. I don't know. Let's see here. Basically, you guys are now commenting a lot. At least a lot for me. I know Star Wars Theory, he probably gets a trillion comments a second. Basically, Palpatine cheated death. Isn't that what he was telling Anakin in Revenge of the Sith? It's a good question. I mean, he claims he didn't know it. I personally think he knew how to... I don't think he knew how to create... I don't know. I mean, I did a whole video on this, that did Palpatine actually know how to cheat death? I think he kind of did. And he purposely never told Anakin because he knew the moment he told Vader how to cheat death, Vader would never have a need for him again. And so in order to always kind of keep himself one step above Vader and to keep Vader always needing something power-wise from Sidious purposely never told him how to cheat death. But I think he knew. Let's see here. At least to a certain degree, Snoke is probably some Palpatine clone that went rogue and took death sticks. Hey, it could be. He should have gone home and rethought his life. Snoke is Plagueis' other apprentice. That's a possibility too. I mean, Snoke seems pretty old, so it's a possibility. I still like the idea that Snoke is Plagueis, guys. I'm not going to lie. I wish he were. I wish they would have done that. Let's see here. Hey, guys. If you do fan mail, our Uber Eats you Chipotle. Oh, that might actually be quite the incentive, Gold Taco. So let's talk Star Wars. Is answering my question about the forest moon of Endor. My question is it the forest moon of a planet called Endor? Just like we have, Europa is the oceanic moon of Uranus or whatever planet it's around, or is the moon called Endor? Now, random question. Okay, so Joshua Long 69 says, honestly, if Snoke isn't Palpatine, then I hope they explain who Snoke is in episode 9. Josh, if they don't explain who Snoke is in episode 9, there's going to be riots in the streets. I mean, they better explain who Snoke is in episode 9. Let's see here. Kylo will be killed somehow. Okay, so Dale says... hey, take inventory, saying he's going to head out. Take care, man. Dale says, Kylo will be killed and somehow Anakin will be resurrected into him. Like the daughter was used to resurrect Ahsoka. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. Rey is Padme reincarnated and Padme and Anakin will snap to Mortis at the end. I think it all makes sense. I don't know if that's the way they're going to do it, but that would be kind of interesting. Um, Lucky Dog Gaiman asked the question: Rise of Skywalker, is that Anakin Skywalker? I kind of think it might be all the Skywalkers, and that the chosen one may have been a chosen lineage, not a chosen person, perhaps. Let's see here. Hi, Danny. The grassy plains where the Death Star is reminds me of Lothal from Rebels. Yeah, a little bit. I could see that. Now, I think we're all assuming at the moment that the Death Star we see there is Death Star 2, not Death Star 1 from A New Hope. To me, it makes sense because that's where Palpatine died and everything like that. I guess, the Yavin 4 was a red gas giant, but I guess the temples of the Masasi temples or whatever they're called, I mean, there could be oceans on that planet as well. There could certainly be oceans on the forest moon of Endor. So who knows, So who knows where that is? Okay, let's see here. Sith can only inhabit their tombs. All right, so thanks, Mike, for that. So it makes sense, if Palpatine's tomb was Death Star 2, so that would make sense. Let's see here. Darnak Kalig says Plagueis made Anakin was afraid of him since he saw a vision. Read it in the Plagueis novel. Cool. Let's see here. Palpatine is on the destroyed Death Star. They go there to retrieve something. Yeah, I mean, maybe they go there for holocrons. I'm a little bit curious if they incorporate holocrons at all, since they've never been in any of the films. The cartoons and the shows, when you're writing films, you got to make it as general. You got to make it as applicable to the audience as possible. I mean, you've got to make it as understandable to the widest audience possible. And I think that's generally why they've avoided the holocrons and stuff like that in the films, because the average audience member, it gets a little bit too deep in the lore for them. And so they kind of keep those with the shows where they know only kind of the more diehard fans are watching. So they kind of keep the films more general to make it appeal wider to an audience. So I would be a little surprised if they brought in holocrons, but not totally surprised, because especially, given the Darth Moment mask and stuff, it's possible that somehow, like Palpatine dying there and dying in the Death Star, or maybe inhabiting some holocron or something like that. It's kind of like a Horcrux. Who knows? Let's see here. Palpatine. Okay, so Hardy Brown says there's at least one confirmed trapped dark side spirit in canon so far. It was in the mighty Chewbacca in the Forest of Fear. Which one was that? I can't remember that one. And then Darth Momin, of course, in the Vader comic. Okay, so Skyverse. Rey could easily be the product of Palpatine manipulating the Force again, like Anakin. Doesn't contradict the statement about appearance in the Last Jedi either. Anakin's mother was no one too. It's true. Let's see. So I'm annoyed that they are releasing The Mandalorian before Episode 9 in terms of marketing. It needs no Star Wars in between. On the other hand, I'm sort of excited. I'll take any Star Wars I can get. I'm hoping that, Lucasfilm has certainly, hopefully, learned a lot over the last couple films. And I think they're trying to do better. In regards to the fans, at least. Okay. I do feel like Palpatine would have a plan if Vader did kill him. He had to think Vader would try at some point, I assume. In the books, didn't Palpatine know how to move his spirit into other bodies? Yeah, so Red Comic, I agree with you that Palpatine had to have a plan. I mean, it's the way of the Sith. It is the way of the Sith to eliminate all who stand in our way, to eliminate our rivals, is it not? I mean, pretty sure that line is canon. But yeah, he had to have a plan for sure. Palpatine would suck if he didn't have a plan. Let's see here. So Palpatine. Let's see here. Okay, so Chosen One theory. What happened Kylo Ren and Rey are brother and sister, and they was separated when Han was probably on a mission, and Rey ran off somewhere and left without, and she saw the ships fly off. So you think they're brother and sister? I think that would have been revealed if that were true. I mean, I think we all certainly thought that at one point, but I don't know. Okay. I do kind of like the idea that Palpatine's trying to get back at Anakin, that by trying to corrupt his bloodline. I think that's a pretty cool thing that Palpatine would do. It's kind of like if I were to make a Boba Fett film, I would certainly make Snoke be using Boba Fett to turn Kylo Ren, because Boba Fett, in order to get back Han, the biggest revenge he can get would not be to kill Han. It would be to kill or take away his son. That's, I mean, any parent would tell you it's a lot more scary to imagine something happens to your child than yourself. Let's see here. So Miles McEwen says Anakin Skywalker prequels, Luke Skywalker original trilogy, Rey Skywalker sequels. All right. Logan King, I think Snoke may just be a canon version of Viriati, with Palpatine being like Revan. He wants to go to explore the unknown regions looking for Snoke. Possibly. All right. Let's see here. What's up, guys? All right, keep the questions coming. Can we subscribe to your channel yet? Lucky Dog Gaming. Did you just ask that? Yeah, subscribe to my channel. What are you doing? You clearly have not been doing something right in your life. Okay. VR Gimp says Rey is a vessel created for the Emperor's essence. She's a Palpatine Skywalker hybrid. That's an interesting theory. I certainly hope that something with where Rey came from is totally explained, and I know for a fact that JJ was intending something different than what was revealed in The Last Jedi. So Simon Pegg said that pretty clearly. So I'm hoping I'm hoping we get more from that. So Let's Talk Star Wars says there were oceans on the Forest Moon. So Death Star crashed on the Forest Moon of Endor. Cool. All right. Chosen One theory. I wonder if Rey is one of Luke's students and he wipes her mind of everything that happened. That's a possibility, I suppose, but Luke certainly doesn't recognize her at all in The Last Jedi, so I'm not sure if that's the case. Let's see here. Coleman Trevor is... All right. Kathleen Kennedy said that yesterday she had a meeting with Disney and showed them a teaser of The Mandalorian. That's cool. Let's see here. Let's see here. AL Too Cool says, hasn't it been explained that Darth Sidious with midichlorians created Anakin? So in essence, he is the one who created the Skywalkers, like the line from Revenge of the Sith, Lord Vader Rise. In the newest Vader comics, when Vader's building his castle in the last issue, it talks about it insinuates that Palpatine created Anakin. So that's probably the closest thing we have to canon. Certainly, if you listen to the director's commentary on Revenge of the Sith, or the producer Rick McCallum during the opera scene, said flat out that Palpatine is talking about Anakin's origins when he's giving the Darth Plagueis speech about influence the midichlorians to create life. Now that's a producer's commentary. So there's nothing in canon that blatantly screams Palpatine created Anakin. Unfortunately, I definitely think that either Palpatine or Plagueis did it, that it was not the Force. I even have a crazy theory that that the Chosen One theory actually originated with the Sith, that it was not a Jedi prophecy, and that after the defeat of the Sith, the Jedi stole the Chosen One prophecy, retooled it to be their own, so that when the Chosen One did come about, they would almost have first dibs on them to try to kind of counteract the dark side in the Chosen One. They felt that would be their only chance to eventually win, if they could turn him to the light side first, essentially. That's it. Anyways, that's my theory about the prophecy of the Chosen One. I think it would make a really cool movie. Okay, let's see here. IBM Studio says, hey, Danny, just want to say thanks again for the interview. It will be aired on the radio station sometime within the next 2 weeks. Cool, cool. Yeah, I did an interview for a radio station. Let's Talk Star Wars says, Danny, I'm still working on your armor giveaway for your channel. So a big giveaway is coming soon, courtesy of Let's Talk Star Wars. My boy Mike, Mandalorian armor, like in a shadow box or in a frame type thing. It's going to be super cool. Keep an eye out for it. Okay. Let's see here. 2KK, what's up, man? Dalton Hammond says, I wonder what the title actually means. We were just talking about that. I think it means, I think Anakin has to come back because he is the original Chosen One. He's got to come back. It's up to him to bring balance to the Force. But I think the rise of Skywalker means it's the rise of the Skywalker lineage, not an individual Skywalker. But who knows? Okay. No loose wire jokes. Hey, you know, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. All right. Matsy says, if the Knights of Ren make an appearance, where would they have gone during 7 and 8? That is a legitimate question. I don't know. And that, you know, that's the other question of, you know, is Ren a title? Are the Knights of Ren named after Kylo Ren? Or are the Knights of Ren a group and Kylo Ren happens to be their leader? Just like Darth is a title. I also did a video about that, so if you're interested, check that out for sure. I think that Ren is a title, and so that the Knights of Ren may very well also, you know, be connected to the Force somehow, or are warriors from the unknown regions. Maybe they're Chiss. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, or maybe they are the snap. What are the other people? The Chiss's enemies that come from the unknown regions. Come on, guys, someone help me out there. They were in the second Thrawn book. Okay, let's see here. Charlie says, Palpatine, the results are in. You are the father. Nice. Let's see here. In the book, it implies that Plagueis created Anakin. Yeah, totally. So honestly, I doubt Palpatine created Anakin, says Logan King. He would have just trained him from a child instead of betting on Qui-Gon dying, Mace Windu being stupid, and Obi-Wan being a bad master. That's a possibility too. You know, you never, it's hard to say. It's really difficult. It's like Palpatine's Force visions have always kind of confused me a little bit. You know, in Empire Strikes Back, he says, Luke must not become a Jedi. He could destroy us. And then later, it's like, he's talking about how they're going to win. And then Vader says, you know, my son is with them. He's on the moon. And Palpatine's like, you sensed him? You know, strange that I have not. And then he's like, you know, wait for him to come to you. And then Vader's like, he will come to me. You know, horrible acting on that line. And then Palpatine says, I have foreseen it. It's like, wait a minute. You foresee him coming to you, but you didn't foresee him being there? Like, which is it? Like, you just like randomly say, I have foreseen it. You know, I don't know if anybody else has noticed that kind of discrepancy between the two, where he's surprised that Luke is there and he didn't foresee that. Yet in the same sentence, he's like, yeah, I've foreseen him coming to you. It's like, well, which one is it, Palpatine? Okay. Will Luke fight with the green saber? I don't know. Do Force Ghosts fight with lightsabers? Okay. Dale Erdman says, kind of. Palpatine Sidious influenced the midichlorians, but the Force influenced the Jedi to find him first. A slap in the face for messing with the unnatural. Okay. Maybe Ren is the creator of the Knights of Ren. Hey, maybe. Who's Ren, though? Palpa Ren? Maybe? Okay. I like the idea of Ren being a title, like how Mandalore is a title for a leader. Yeah, totally. Or Darth is the title for a Sith. It just happens to be the second word in the title rather than the first word. Skywalker is now a title of the new Jedi Order. Hey, that's possible. I mean, you'll think back to the Chiss. They called the people who could pilot through the unknown regions, you know, with through hyperspace. They called them Skywalkers. So it was a title at one point. All right. Star Wars Forever says, if you know of Darth Vidiotti from Star Wars from Star Wars: The Old Republic, he could survive after death. If he could do it, then Palpatine could have figured it out. If he did, that would make Palpatine the most powerful Sith ever. You're totally right, Star Wars Forever. I think Palpatine already is the most powerful Sith ever. I mean, maybe he doesn't destroy planets with the Force, but nobody accomplished what he did to the degree he did. So I think Palpatine is the most powerful Sith ever. All right. What do you think Kylo was doing in the trailer? I assume you mean flying the ship? I don't know. If it is Kylo flying the ship, his gloves are the same. I checked it with The Last Jedi. But it is interesting how they did not show his face. So who knows? All right. The Knights of Ren might be fallen students. Ren means compassion. Doesn't know. Maybe Ren is an order of gray Force users. All right. The Knights of Ren are fallen students. Luke says that Kylo did take some of his students and killed those that didn't join him. Yeah. But the question, of course, is it's like they're not in the Force visions that Rey has in The Force Awakens. The Knights of Ren, or at least the people who are with Kylo, in the rain, they don't have lightsabers. So that's the biggest reason I kind of struggle to think that the Knights of Ren are former Jedi students. Because why would they not have their lightsabers? Didn't make sense to me. And in Ren, he's got his mask and his red lightsaber and everything by that point. So it's like they clearly would have had time to either construct new lightsabers or do something. And that's assuming those people behind him in the vision are the Knights of Ren. You never know. Okay. George Lucas says Sidious is the strongest Sith, but Vidiotti would give him a run for his money. Hey, well, George said it. Amen to that then. Didn't they say Yoda's Force lightning bolt in episode 8 was a taste of what the Force Ghosts are capable of? Meaning Luke and Anakin might show off some cool Force powers. It's certainly interesting that idea that Force Ghosts have more Force power. I mean, it would make sense. They obviously are pretty darn powerful in the Force if they are, maintaining their spirits. But then it's like, why didn't Yoda and Obi-Wan interfere with Sidious in episode 6? That's always kind of been like a question now, but whatever. I can't believe it was just out of some good morals or, that Luke needed to do it on his own. It's like, when it comes down to it, you save the galaxy. Don't teach a young Jedi a lesson. Okay. Danny, I wanted to know if you have a join option yet. The $4.99 a month. Wanted to support the channel. Of course, I'm subscribed. Oh, okay. The Thrawn Enemies of the Darshi. I'm thinking of another one. But Lucky Dog Gaming, I do not have the join button. I'm not. My channel's not even monetized, unfortunately. I'm working towards those 4,000 hours, I guess. Okay. In the trailer in The Forest, Ren doesn't have a scar. So do you think the Forest scene is a flashback? If so, your thoughts? I don't know. Let's see here. In the trailer in The Forest, which part are you talking about? Maybe I'm just missing it. Do you feel like this was JJ saying no to Rian Johnson's take? I think any filmmaker, when they take over a series, always they're going to do things their own way. James Cameron did things his own way when he made Aliens as a sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien. Of course, Ryan changed things from JJ's. Richard Marquand changed things, a lot of the tone from Empire Strikes Back. So it's yeah, and it happens all the time. Let's see here. Yep, I think Palpatine or Sith is incapable of love or compassion, so I think in Return of the Jedi, that line hints of father and son. A little deep, but that's just me. I'm not sure which line you're talking about. I've already forgotten. Okay, so Adviat Nurani says, I loved your fan film, by the way. Thank you, sir or lady. Palpatine had sensed Luke was on Endor, but he was sensing Vader's emotions as he knew Vader was conflicted. Yes, he does say that. He says, I wonder if your feelings on this matter are clear, Lord Vader. Let's see here. Star Wars Forever says, I hope Force Ghosts are in this. Man, guys, I have been waiting for an Anakin Force Ghost since day one. Day one. It's like, why have we not seen it yet? Red Comics says, how far along were the students in their training when Kylo took them? Impossible question to answer, I know. Maybe they didn't have enough training to make a saber. It's possible. Although, the young Padawans make their own sabers. So I don't know if that would be the case. And I can't imagine that Kylo was the only one who had a lightsaber, unless he killed all the ones who went with him were ones who didn't have lightsabers yet, possibly, but I think they would. I just saw a post on Instagram that says, Kathleen Kennedy says that Palpatine was always intended to be in Episode 9, and his appearance has been in the blueprints for a long time. Is that so? I don't know. I'm not sure. I got to see the post. Is Kathleen Kennedy posting that? Because if so, Snoke's got to be related to it somehow. Has to. If he was always meant to appear, then Snoke's got to be related to him. Let's see here. It would be cool to see the droid army return after a small group survived in Rebels. I've always been thinking, come on, give us like a clone, a droid, battle droid's head in the background of the scene. Something to tell us that, yes, the Clone Wars did happen and there were these billions of battle droids strewn across the galaxy. It's not like they all just disappeared when Palpatine says all droid units must shut down immediately. It's like they got to be somewhere in junkyards. I don't know, somewhere. But let's see here. Okay, Lucky Dog Gaming has said it's the Grisks. So the enemies of the Chiss from the unknown regions were the Grisks. Thank you so much. It's basically the new canon version of the Yuzong Vong. Maybe the Grisks are somehow related to this. I'm very intrigued by the Grisks and what they represent, especially given the Yuzong Vong. All they did in Legends. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So Logan King says when Kylo body slams that person and it's red in the background, Kylo is missing his scar. Yeah, it's like how, he virtually has no scar by the end of Episode 8. Maybe it's just more treatments or something like that. I mean, the scar was pretty thin, and it wasn't like a John Connor's ridiculous looking scar in Terminator Genesis, which I happened to watch today as I was working. Okay. VR Gimp says, long live Vader Episode 1. May Episode 2 live. You better believe it, baby. All right. Let's see here. That Gold Taco sent me the post on Instagram about the comment from Kathleen Kennedy. Let's take a look, shall we? Forgot you can't see messages on the phone version. Forgot about that. Or on the desktop version. I'm pretty lazy. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll look it up later. Okay. So let's see here. Off topic. It would be cool to see Hera's son, Jason Syndulla, played by Dominic Monaghan, since he and Kylo Ren are 4 years apart. Yeah, that's guys. We haven't even broached the topic. We haven't even gone into the topic yet of Ahsoka. Where is he or she? Ezra. Where is that dude? Jason Syndulla. What's going on with these people? Are they going to be in Episode 9, or are they just going to make a series about them? Are they going to be like in The Mandalorian, for instance? What do you guys think? I mean, they're a huge part of the canon, but it goes back to the idea of making the film appeal to the wide audience. If you were to introduce those characters, you would have to give full backstories. You would have to do a lot to introduce these characters, and they could very well take the focus off of the Skywalker story. So I don't know if they're going to bring those characters in. If they do, it's risky. It really is. It's like the Spider-Man 3 syndrome, where you got too many villains. It gets too watered down. By having too many heroes, it gets too. I guess that's the Avengers do it really well, but in the Avengers, the whole point is that it's an ensemble. With the the main Star Wars episodes, the whole point is that it's Skywalkers, or it's these it's these defined heroes, not an ensemble hero cast. Okay, let's see here. In the trailer, in the trailer where A-Wings crashing, you can see the Bender class in the background. Do you think there will combo fight of all three sagas? It certainly looked like an A-Wing. I'm not sure if I understand your question, though. Sorry. Okay, so Joshua Launch 69. Going back to your Clone Wars being in Episode 9. Vader did have a squad of commando droids that he used for some time. Maybe Kylo or the Knights of Ren got the ring helmets when they got some droids. Got the ring helmets. All right. Where's the Mandalorians with the Darksaber? True. Okay. Ahsoka would be in her 70s, and Ezra would be the same age of Luke. So Star Wars Forever, if they were to show up in Episode 9. Yeah, Ahsoka would be old. However, at the same time, it's, do we know how long her species lives? Are they like humans? Or are they kind of like Wookiees, where they just get better with age? Okay. Let's see here. Jerem. Hey, Jerem. What's up, dude? Killer conference last weekend. Okay. In the Episode 9 trailer, the Star Destroyer in the background of the burning A-Wing appears to have a red stripe with the Republic ships from the Clone Wars. Man, I have got to check out what you guys are... I got to check out what you guys are talking about. Come on. I'm looking up the trailer right now. But I'm going to keep talking. Okay. I think... So... Oh, the Vader helmet. Okay. Scottyverse, I think Palpatine was always an idea, but it feels like he just kind of the best option to replace the big bad void left by Snoke's death. Was his death always planned, or is this a Band-Aid? That's a great question, too. I mean, it could very well just be like, snap, we gotta make this more appealing to the Star Wars fans. Let's bring back the big baddie. Let's bring back Palpatine. Let's see here. I'm looking at the trailer trying to see the A-Wing shot. Is the A-Wing shot like at the 112 mark? Somebody help me out here, just so I know exactly what you guys are talking about. Let's see here. Oh, that shot. Okay, I see what shot you're talking about. All right, let's see if I can go back. It only lets you go back 5 second increments. It certainly does look like a Republic cruiser. That's for sure. I see what you guys are looking at. I don't know. That's a good question, if it's a Republic cruiser or not, because it certainly looked like Jerem said, that there was a red stripe. So Charlie says, Thrawn did not die, did he, in Rebels? Think they bring him up? No, Thrawn did not die. If you remember right, Thrawn and Ezra disappeared into hyperspace with those whale things. I can't remember what they're called. And we don't know where they went. So Thrawn's out there somewhere. And who knows how long Chiss survived, Thrawn would certainly be pretty dang old if he were still alive at this point. All right, so Logan King says, I don't think Disney would allow Rian Johnson to just kill Snoke and not have a solid plan to replace him. One would hope, Logan. I don't think so either, to be honest. I mean, yeah, who knows? All right. Arkham Creed, if I'm not mistaken, a clone survived through the sequels because he was frozen. I haven't heard that. I mean, we all know Rex, survived and took place in the Battle of Endor. I'm sure I guess you're talking about a clone of Palpatine. Yeah, in Legends, Palpatine cloned himself for this plan to basically live forever. All right. I'm thinking Kylo trains Rey more after he kicks her butt. Mentioning Purrgil. I'm showing my ignorance. I don't know what Purrgil is. Okay. Red comment, it would be cool if the rebels find an old droid army and program them to shoot plastic boys again. After 8, the rebels are small in number, so a droid army would be useful. Oh, it looks like they're using C-3PO to fight in the trailer. So they probably wouldn't be too far off the mark. I mean, it's like you got C-3PO almost, with a weapon here. It's crazy. He's like I guess it's just Rey, Finn, and C-3PO on this skip that they're on, but okay. Let's see here. Dale says, "Hey, how's it going?" Hey, Dale. Thanks for the spoilers because I haven't samples yet. I'm in a third season of Clone Wars. I'm guessing you're saying that, Gold Taco. Well, I apologize for the spoilers, that Gold Taco. One would assume that after a few years you would have seen it by now. So I'm sorry. Okay. Joshua Lawn says, it did look like the ship that looks like a Venator had its main hangar bay doors open. It would be very valuable to them as they could hold many star fighters and refuel time to time. Yeah, it does look like a Venator, and it would make sense that, these Venators have to be somewhere, unless the Empire retrofitted all the Venators to be, the new Star Destroyers. But who knows? Assume that X-Wings are of the ARC 170 fighter that, the Rebels, and at some points, who knows? Fantastic original, trilogy that basically kicked off the expanded universe in spectacular fashion, or really revitalized it. And he talks about the Dark Force. The Dark Force was a force that was lost, in space, and it was never found for many, many years until the remnants of the Empire, go looking to find it. It's possible, very possible, that remnants of the clones or remnants of the Separatist that happened to, I suppose, maybe. It'd be an interesting minor plot points for episode 9, I think. So let's see. Let's see here. Let's Talk Star Wars says, can't wait to start filming my Old Republic movie, Danny. Hope you will add your 2 cents to the filming. Have a good one, my friend. Totally, Mike. Thanks so much. Let's see here. When the Emperor falls down the shaft, there was a huge flux of energy. Was that essence transfer from Palpatine? Well, everything up to this point has stated that essentially that was a release of all the dark side energy that he had pent up, that it was his death, and it was just the massive release of all that dark side energy. I guess it's possible that as that dark side energy went up, that it went into a holocron there or something. I don't know. Or some other thing. It also begs the question of, what did Palpatine fall into? Did that go all the way down to the core of the Death Star? Did it go down to where like hyper crystals were kept? Did it go down to an ancient, or not an ancient because it's brand new? Did it go down to a Sith stuff? Who knows? Okay. Now I want to see an Emperor falling down the shaft scene, but Gandalf style from Two Towers, where he is falling. While yelling, "You shall not pass." I'm lagging? Oh, sorry, guys. Maybe we'll have to cut this short then. Just on my wired internet. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so Star Wars Theory has posted like 3 times since I've been watching this. I look forward to checking those out later, but this is a really fun chat. Hey, thanks, Scottyverse. Yeah, my boy Star Wars Theory he's the man. Okay. Let's see here. All right, maybe Palpatine is just coming back as a Sith Force Ghost. Yeah, we're talking about that a little bit earlier. How there's no solid precedent for Sith Force Ghosts in canon so far. There's Darth Momin, who stored his, I guess, spirits or essence in a mask in the Darth Vader comic in an effort to be resurrected, essentially, using Darth Vader. Darth Bane I guess could have. Yeah, there's a scene with Yoda and Darth Bane, but I don't think it's officially canon. All right. Arkham. All right. So Dale Erdman says Arkham Creed, the ghost ship, was in Rogue One. Oh yeah. The ghost ship was in Rogue One with the voices of the characters. I thought it was a nice call. Yeah. The ghost was in Rogue One. It was seen in the Battle of Scarif, and in the Masasi Temple, you hear over the PA system someone saying General Syndulla. So, okay. So, Star Wars Forever asks, what's your final thoughts on the trailer? You know, it reminded me a lot of the Force Awakens trailer. Similar music, similar structure. So clearly, JJ has, a whole, a hand in it. And I remember when the first Star Wars, the Force Awakens teaser came out, how blown away I was. It came out over a year before the movie was even coming out. And I am optimistic about Episode 9 now. This looks cool. I am totally stoked that the Emperor is coming back. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit skeptical and cautious about the idea, that Rey and Kylo are somehow teaming up in that opening scene. I don't know what's going on in that opening scene. And let's just remember for a second, guys, that if you remember back to the teaser of The Force Awakens, there's a line that Luke says that is not in the movie. It says, "The Force is strong in my family. I have it. My sister has it. My father has it. You have that power too." The line was not in the movie. And honestly, I think that shows that Rey is a Skywalker still. I'm just throwing that out there. Because why would JJ put that in the film or put that in there unless he was just truly trying to mess with us? But these lines that Luke is saying in this trailer, you can't put too much weight in them. They may not even be for the film. They could just be something that they wrote for the trailer. So, so you can't believe anything JJ shows you until you see the movie. That's just the way he is. He loves it. If you go down to Santa Monica and you go down to the Bad Robot offices, it says like printing press on the outside. It doesn't say Bad Robot. He loves misdirection. He loves messing with people. So it's, you got to take everything in this trailer with a grain of salt. Now, do I think Palpatine's coming back? Absolutely. I think that's a for sure. I don't think he would do that because the fans would riot. And given that Ian McDiarmid was at Celebration and came out after the trailer, I think it's pretty much doctrine at this point that Palpatine is back in Episode 9. So, but I'm excited. When I heard Palpatine's laugh, I turned into a little boy. So, I think it's going to be cool. It's kind of my final thoughts. I'm very cautiously optimistic. I do hope that Rey, as Matzi's saying, he says, I hope Rey will have the hero struggle and not automatically be Jedi Knight plus status. I absolutely agree. I think she needs to struggle, not just with the identity of her parents, but she needs to struggle in training. She needs to struggle as a Jedi. She needs to experience losing, just like Luke did against Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back. She needs to struggle. She's got to have some serious opposition, because it's only through opposition that, a character can really grow. So I hope she gets that in Episode 9. I hope she's just not, just Jedi God status right off the bat, because I'd be very disappointed. I think it's a huge missed opportunity if they were to do it that way. So, let's see, we're about an hour, guys, so let's kind of wrap this up. Arkham Creed points out that the Russo brothers intentionally add fake scenes to trailers. Yes, they do. Even in the Rogue One trailer, my boy Simon Crane, who directed a lot of that film as the second unit director, if you recall in the Rogue One trailer, there's this shot where, not Rey, what's her name? Jyn walking and the TIE fighter comes up in front of her. My boy Simon shot that scene. And when he saw the trailer, he's like, what's the TIE fighter doing there? They just added it for the trailer. It was never intended to be in the movie, ever. They just added a TIE fighter in that shot for the trailer just to make it something cool. Now, I really liked Rogue One, but I always thought that was funny that when he told me that story. Okay, let's see here. Star Wars Forever says, well, at least she didn't lose a hand yet. Well, we got one more movie. Let's see. All right, guys. It's funny because I did not watch a trailer for The Last Jedi. I didn't watch anything for The Last Jedi, not one single thing, because I wanted to go in fresh. I'm not doing it this time. I'm watching everything. I'm trying to get my hands on everything because it didn't really make a difference. I wanted to try it with the Star Wars film. It didn't make a difference with the Last Jedi. Okay, since Danny, same here, Danny. I'm looking at the sequel trilogy. Okay, but honestly, still hyped for Vader Shards of the Past 2. Hey, I'm hyped for that also, Charlie. Rey must lose a hand or a foot. It is a tradition. Yeah, you better believe it. Okay, Jaron Parsons says, how do you generally feel Episode 9 will play out? Right now, I'm thinking that the rise of Skywalker means the rise of the Skywalker lineage, not an individual. I do not think it's referring to an individual. I think that it will take the combination of Kylo, Luke, Rey, who I do think somehow is a Skywalker still, maybe, and Anakin. Anakin has to come back. He is the original chosen one. He didn't. If Palpatine's coming back, that means Anakin never brought balance to the Force. So I think it's the rise of the Skywalker lineage that they all have to band together to defeat the dark side once and for all. They say it's the end to the saga, so I think they've got to defeat the dark side somehow. They've got to defeat the Sith somehow. Maybe that means also destroying the Jedi, like Luke says, that it's time for the Jedi to end. Because we know there's opposition in all things, so if there's the Jedi, the Sith will rise. But if there's no Jedi and there's no Sith, maybe, I don't know. I kind of hope they don't destroy all Force users somehow, but who knows. Let's see here. All right, guys. Well, I should probably get going. But hit like if you haven't. Thanks so much for tuning in. I think this is going to be a fun film. All right, last comment. I actually like the idea of Skywalker becoming the new name of the Jedi Order. Somebody brought that up here. Yeah, somebody did mention that they could be called Skywalkers instead of Jedi. That'd be pretty cool. I think that's actually a pretty cool idea. Let's see here. No, don't leave. You are a spiffy legend of this generation. Yeah, I told you, every generation has their legend. I'm the spiffy legend. Smash that like button and squeeze that subscribe nodule, says Scaling Fragments. Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you. Yeah, definitely hit like. Subscribe if you haven't, guys. I'm dropping a video tomorrow about episode 6. I'm not mentioning the trailer because I've already filmed the video. I just got to edit it. But I watched episode 6 recently with my son. It was his first time. And there were a lot of things that after watching it, it was my favorite growing up. And I still love it. But after watching it this last time, there were a lot of things I would have done differently. So I'm going to talk about that in a video tomorrow. 3 major things that I think I would have done very differently from what is currently in Return of the Jedi. So stay tuned for that video. That'll probably come out. It'll post tomorrow night. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Definitely share that video when it comes out. But thanks again, guys. You're awesome. So remember to stay spiffy and don't do anything I wouldn't do twice.